Israel. After 40 years spent together in the desert, complaining, crying, depending on God to provide everything they need to survive, they're finally about to take their first big step towards independence into their new lives in Israel. Sadly, Moshe knows that he's not going to be joining the people on their journey, so he feels obligated to impart all of his wisdom and knowledge before they cross the Jordan and leave him behind. He tells them to follow Hashem's laws so that they have a good life and a good relationship with Hashem. He cautions them not to disobey Hashem, because then they'll be punished and their new lives will not be so great. He reminds them of all their failures, not to be a jerk, but to help them understand what they can improve on in their new lives. For whatever pain Bnei Israel caused Moshe, he was really sad to see them go. After all the years Moshe spent with Bnei Israel, after all the hard times, the problems, and the difficulties, Moshe still loved Bnei Israel and wants the best for them. Even though he wasn't going to be able to be a part of their daily lives anymore, he wanted to do whatever he could to set them up for success. Moshe wanted to teach Bnei Israel the value of taking care of each other and setting up a meaningful community so that even when he wasn't with them, he would know that they would keep each other safe and happy. As a part of Moshe's speech, he recites a list of mitzvot or commandments that Bnei Israel needs to follow with an explanation of all the good things that will happen if they do the mitzvot and all the bad things that will happen if they don't do the mitzvot. The first pasuk or verse of the parsha says, "And it will be, because you will heed these ordinances and keep them and perform, that the Lord your God will keep for you the covenant and the kindness that he swore to your forefathers." This pasuk is confusing. A covenant is the deepest type of promise that isn't necessarily based on behavior. So why did it say that God keeping the covenant is based on Bnei Israel doing mitzvot? Shouldn't God keep the covenant he made with Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, even if Bnei Israel don't do the mitzvot? The commentary says that actually, if God kept the covenant without Bnei Israel actively participating in their relationship with him by doing the mitzvot, then Bnei Israel wouldn't have an authentic relationship with God at all. Bnei Israel was about to start a new chapter in their lives where they would not need God in the same physical ways they needed him in the desert. It is as if they are growing up, and their relationship with God needed to evolve. Bnei Israel needed to understand that following the mitzvot was their responsibility, and it would help balance their more mature relationship with God. If God did not make it clear that he had grown-up expectations of Bnei Israel, it would be as if he didn't expect them to bloom and become their own sophisticated people. By making it clear that Bnei Israel had to do the mitzvot in order to cultivate their relationship with God, Moshe was also pushing them to grow and become bigger and better people. Not only would this deepen their relationship with God, but it would also make them into a more thoughtful, connected community. Amazingly, this changing connection between Bnei Israel and God is outlined in this parsha is a perfect metaphor for me becoming a bat mitzvah. Bnei Israel was physically dependent on God while they were in the desert. They couldn't survive without all the food and water God provided. God was vitally important in their day-to-day life in the desert. Now that they are moving to Israel and will be able to take care of themselves physically, Moshe is helping them set up a more balanced. Now that they are moving to Israel and will be able to take care of themselves physically, Moshe is helping them set up a more balanced relationship with God. Now that they don't need him on a physical day-to-day basis, Moshe wants to make sure that God is still important to them in a spiritual way. This is why they need to perform the mitzvot, so that they are choosing to be connected to God and connected to each other as a community. As a bat mitzvah, my relationship with God is going to become much deeper. I am now an adult in the Jewish community, and not only is more expected of me, but I am expecting more of myself. Over the past year, I have been studying for my bat mitzvah and taking time to truly understand what Jewish values mean in my life. I try to use Jewish values as the basis of how I act and how I treat other people. It makes me more empathetic. I know that I too will keep evolving and maturing, and I will integrate doing mitzvot into my daily life. With that standard in mind, my friends and I started a project called Dear Desserts. We came together every other week for the last year and baked delicious treats to sell to people in our town. We raised over $2,000 for an amazing organization in Israel called Leket. Leket is a nonprofit that helps give food to the needy, as well as cultivating farmland that would otherwise lie barren. The little food trucks on your tables contain flyers with more information about them, but don't look now, keep getting my speech. As we baked, sold, delivered, and baked again, I realized how much we mattered and what a big difference we were going to be able to make in the world. We brought joy to those in the community, and we will be able to feed many families who live far away but are still a part of our global Jewish community. As a bat mitzvah, I accept the challenge of making the world a better place, and I take pride in the fact that I can make a difference. In my parsha, Bnei Israel was just about to start a new chapter in their lives, which is perfect for my bat mitzvah because I too am about to start a new chapter in my life. And just as Bnei Israel had Moshe to support them, I have a whole team of people who try to push me to be the best that I can be. It's almost too hard to put into words how much my mom inspires me. She has the best laugh, and somehow she always knows how to fix anything that goes wrong. She's seriously the best role model a person can ask for. She's the Lorelai to my Rory, and I love her so much. And thank you, Mommy, for setting the whole thing up. I really thank you. Thank you. Whenever I go swimming with my dad, he always makes sure I do my laps before we play, and keeps an extra eye out for me, just like he does with everything else. He pushes me to be great and always has my back. I love him so much. Dov, thank you so much for being a part of my life, and I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting me in this journey of learning, and thanks for always giving me the fist bump of power. Tammy and Kenny, it's so great that you're here. You always are so generous with me, and I love coming to Detroit for Passover. I'm so lucky to have my grandparents here to celebrate with me. Grandma, I love that time in Boston that were just the two of us that summer. I hope we get to do that again. Lady Boss, thank you for not doing Trap Man and wrinkling my dress today. I love you so much. I'm sorry that Babushka's not here, but I really love playing Othello with her. I never got to know my Dedushka, my grandpa on my dad's side, but I really wish that I did, because everybody tells me how sweet he was and how artistic he was, and I really would like to have known him. My friends are the best. They always know how to cheer me up, and my life is so much lighter with you guys. I have amazing teachers who constantly inspire me. Thank you so much to Rabbi and Rebbetzin Spivak for creating such a warm and welcoming community, and more importantly, for supporting my bat mitzvah project and buying desserts. Thank you all for coming. Yeah. And thank you to Jesse for being so patient.